It's quite fascinating. You can look it up. But more importantly, the effect, der Einfluss dieser Revolution auf die deutsche Geschichte war enorm. It was enormous on the German side.
Mm-hmm.
Enormous. Because what can happen in one country can also happen in the other country. Germany was also ruled by small rulers, as was Austria. And instead of Austria, they also had Prussia, which was also a region in the southern part. The Preußen. And the bigger empire in the southern part of Germany was the Austro-Hungarian Empire, the Habsburg dynasty. They had a huge fiefdom, a huge range. So all that was brought under one umbrella in 1871 by Bismarck, who later became the Prime Minister of United Germany. This second time that Germany was united, 1871. The first time was in 770. That was Karl der Große, who brought all the German-speaking smaller kings together under one umbrella. Karl der Große, Charlemagne of Französisch, of English, King Charlemagne. 1871, Otto von Bismarck brought all the German-speaking people together and said, we are German speakers, we must unite and fight the French, fight the Austrians, and we need our own separate German identity. So the Second Reich was formed in 1871. It lasted till 1893, 22 years. And then after the death of Bismarck, King Frederick, he could not hold Germany together. So Germany again broke up into smaller units. So everybody was the king of something. I am the king of Tarnaka. You can be the king of Indiranagar. You can be the king of Rajiv Nagar or whatever. So each one became the smaller kings. And that's how it continued till Hitler brought them together in 1933. From 33 to 1945, that was the Third Reich. And now the Germans say, 3 is enough. We don't want any such unity or uniformity. Wir bleiben als Demokratie weiter. Und so ist das. So there are far-reaching consequences. For me, the word history, History, is high story. I enjoy reading history. It's like a story for me.
Yeah.
So look up some things on the internet. You'll find this in English and also the German versions. So read them parallel, damit Ihr Wortschatz sich dann erweitert. It'll go up a bit. And you'll also have a background of the history of Germany. It's fascinating. You don't have to memorize all the names.
Okay.
Dafür brauche ich mindestens eine Stunde. Mindestens eine Stunde über die deutsche Geschichte zu sprechen. Minimum 1 hour. It's faszinierend. Total faszinierend. Okay, so jetzt einen interessanten Text hier für heute. Wenn alle gleich aussehen. Was wäre passieren, wenn alle Leute gleich aussehen? So, was bedeutet das hier? Eigentlich das Wort heißt Prosopagnosie. Also was ist Prosopagnosie? If you read that first paragraph, you'll roughly have an idea. Menschen, die an Prosopagnosie leiden, also das ist hier, no, in German, in English it's Prognosopagnosia.
Prognosis.
He counts as 10.
Nein, also was ist Prosopagnosie?
They have a difficulty identifying one person to the another.
Ja,
Okay.
Prosopagnosia. Also die an Prosopagnosie leiden, können Gesichter nur mit Mühe voneinander unterscheiden. With great difficulty, they can make out the differences here.
Zum Beispiel für uns alle chinesische Leute sieht.
Ja, ja, Ding Dong und Ding Dang sind beide gleich, ne?
Ja, ja.
Ja. Ja, so ist das. But this is a much more severe factor. Eigentlich, das ist angeborene, eine angeborene Krankheit. It's right from birth. So it's nothing very amusing because these people are unable to distinguish faces. So einst galt diese Störung als exotisch und selten. Einst, at one time, once upon a time.
Once upon a time.
Das war exotisch. Right? You know, the problem here, you cannot recognize your own family members. You cannot recognize your own family members. So that's why
by having a same.
Yeah, Aditi?
Sir, by having that means the same kind of a phase in under the Japanese and Chinese community. This is kind of a what you just said is a problem.
It's a problem.
Okay.
Also einst war diese Störung exotisch und selten. Aber jetzt leiden Millionen von Menschen daran. There are millions of people today who suffer from this. This is an illness or a kind of a disturbance from birth. Also das heißt auch auf Englisch face blindness.
Sir, in Belgian context, like
Yeah, yeah, Achal?
सर इन बेल्जियन कॉन्टेक्स्ट किसको मतलब ये इलनेस है, मतलब जैसे हम लोग को चाइनीज लोग एक जैसे लगते हैं या जापानीज लोग एक जैसे लगते हैं, तो हम लोगों को इलनेस है.
It's not an illness. You have not lived amongst them, so you cannot recognize them.
Okay.
So it's not an illness at all. We don't suffer from this.
Sir, sometimes
उनके साथ रहो तो you can easily make out the differences.
Okay.
कोई दिक्कत नहीं है इसमें. If you live with them, you can make out. You say them once a year, then naturally you'll have a problem. So it's not a problem. So this is it's a kind of a disturbance or some kind of quirk, and it's ungeboren. It affects people from birth. Prosopagnosia. Because you can't make out the features of the people. You cannot recognize your own family. By face, you cannot recognize the family. ये क्या है? कौन है? मेरी माँ है कि मेरी बहन है? ये मेरा बाप है कि मेरा भाई है? So people suffer from this. And there are serious consequences here. And such people, they have to take recourse to Alternativen herausfinden. Wie man geht, wie man spricht, also vom Ton her, vom Haarfarbe vielleicht, oder die Kleidung. Also da haben sie kein Problem. So from there, they recognize who is this person, but not by the face. They cannot tell apart. Also, Christina. Oh, hello. Hello, Christina. Fünfmal. कौन है Christina? So how do you recognize this person? Okay, slightly darker face. Hello, Christina. छोटी आंखें. Hello, Jan. So you start looking for certain smaller things that you can remember and associate with the face. So the repercussions are you avoid social interaction because you're scared. You can't recognize the other person. So what will you do? In fact, you know the worst case scenario? When such a person who suffers from Prosopagnosie, wenn diese Person sich in den Spiegel sieht, diese Person kann das eigene Gesicht nicht erkennen, cannot recognize one's own face. And these people again, they cannot estimate distances or places sometimes, or landmarks. Even they cannot remember. So it's a very interesting study. Obwohl es ein bisschen humoristisch erscheint oder humorvoll erscheint, das ist eine Störung. So what can we say here? If you look at this text, wenn man diesen Text hier mal liest oder durchliest, what is this here? Welches Problem? Look at this here. This part here. Eines Tages die Mittagszeit, erzählt Bill Chossoir, traf ich meine Mutter auf dem Gehsteig und erkannte sie nicht. Sie sei gar nicht amüsiert gewesen über den Fauxpas ihres Sohnes, berichtet er auf seiner Website und habe ihm bis heute nicht vergeben. Bill Chossoir is a famous writer. He could not recognize his own mother on the footpath.
What's that? Gehsteig, footpath.
Yeah. Walkway. Und er kannte sie nicht. Sie sei gar nicht amüsiert gewesen über den Fauxpas ihres Sohnes. She was not at all amused by his mistake. He wrote on his website. And until today, she has not forgiven him. माफ नहीं किया उसको. Für Chossoir sind derartige Ereignisse keine lustigen Anekdoten. It's not something that he is telling you as a joke or an anecdote. Once upon a time I met my mother and I could not recognize her. सब लोग ha 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 हंस दिए. No, it's not a joke. Sondern ein lästiger Teil seines Alltags. It's a very severe part of his day. Leidet an einer Störung mit dem unhandlichen Namen Prosopagnosia. So it's a very unusual name, a disturbance called Prosopagnosie. Er tut sich schwer damit, Gesichter zu erkennen. Can't recognize faces. Ja? Lästiger Teil seines Alltags. Was ist Last? Last. Die Last.
Last is last. Die Last.
Load, ne? Lastkraftwagen. So load. Ja? So from there, the
to load.
lästiger.
Okay.
So it's a heavy
loaded part.
Yeah, load literally, no? So it's something, yeah, it's something that is in his daily life. It's something to do with his daily life. And this is
That
what is
burden is
weighing
still
heavily
there.
on him. Yeah, that burden on
Okay,
his life,
okay.
because he cannot recognize anyone. Right? So it's a
Yeah,
serious
klar.
problem. It's a serious problem. So on ganz interessant. Obwohl dieses Problem in der Welt etwa das eine oder andere Mal auftaucht, ist Prosopagnosie als definiertes Störungsbild erst 1947 zum ersten Mal wissenschaftlich beschrieben worden. You have to understand this and you have to accept this. How can you not recognize? That is not a question. Wieso? Das ist so klar. Amitabh Bachchan doesn't look like Hema Malini. Yeah, but for me, my mind is not able to process that. Both the faces are the same to me. It sounds very amusing, very comical. Worst case scenario, you'll probably say, Pagal hai. He deserves to be put into a mental asylum. But it's a fact. Und das Problem ist, das ist sehr, sehr wenig verbreitet. Was ist wenig verbreitet? Das Wissen den Defekt. The knowledge about this problem is so less widespread, so little is known about this. How can you find out when there is not enough data? 2% aller Menschen. Nur 2% aller Menschen. And that's a huge number by itself. If you take off, let's say, 2 out of 10, 2 out of 10, 20 out of 100, 200 out of 1,000, and so on, they suffer from this defect, diese Störung. Und sie leiden an Prosopagnosie meist von Geburt an. Leiden an. Also das ist ein angeborenes Defekt.
Okay.
It's right from birth, something to do with a genetic problem. So wer nie gelernt hat, wie es ist, Gesichter ohne Anstrengung unterscheiden zu können, merkt gar nicht, was ihm fehlt. Many people don't even know, those who don't know how difficult it is to differentiate faces. Ein Baby hat ein Problem am Anfang, aber später ist es einfacher. Ein Baby zum Beispiel erkennt seine Mutter durch Geruch, through smell. A newborn baby identifies the mother by smell, which is why when an auntie or somebody comes home, oh, kitna chona beta hai, and picks up that baby, the baby starts howling. Why? It's not because the baby can see and identify a strange face. Nine. It's the smell. The smell is missing. We are all in a wrong thing there. घर में अक्सर बोलते हैं, ओ नया चेहरा है ना. It's not a नया चेहरा. It's a body odor. A baby goes by the body odor.
Okay.
It takes a baby about a month and a half to focus properly. Purely by smell. There's an animal trait. There's eine Eigenschaft der Tiere eigentlich. Durch Geruch etwas zu identifizieren. And sometimes we ourselves have this problem to identify people. Even though we have the names, we confuse that name with somebody else. क्या नाम था इसका? रमेश? नहीं, रमेश नहीं था, सुरेश था. I know the face, but I can't put a name. I know the name, but I can't put a face.
Is talk prospopagonis noise?
Beta?
This one names also face sometimes we have this problem. That is also prosopagony.
Nein. Das ist nicht Prosopagnosie. Prosopagnosie. Nein, das ist keine Prosopagnosie.
Okay.
Also Prosopagnosie ist exklusiv mit Gesichtern, nicht mit Namen.
Okay.
Also das Gesicht erkennen wir nicht, Adil.
Hmm.
When we don't
Yeah.
recognize the face, the name also kommt nicht ins Spiel. The name does not matter. See, if I don't remember your face, how will I put a name to it? So in order to give your face a name, I must first recognize your face. Agreed?
Yeah.
But when I don't recognize your face, how can I even give it a name?
Yeah.
So it's not a question of amusing, no matter how amusing it is. Also, die Japaner, die Koreaner und die Chinesen sehen alle gleich für uns. Nein, sie sehen alle gleich für uns. Aber die sind nicht alle gleich. Don't you think they also have similar problems with us?
Yes, sir. Yeah, they have. It happened with me actually.
Yeah.
So warum mit uns also die Indian, wir Indien sehen überhaupt nicht wie ähnlich?
Nein, wir haben auch dieselben Probleme. Let me give you an extreme example. How many people in South India do you think will be able to make out between two Sikhs?
Okay.
See, there is also a saying which I
But
learned at school. Natha Singh and Batha Singh both are one and the same thing. ये मेरे स्कूल के टाइम से चले आ रहा है. Natha Singh and Batha Singh are one and the same thing.
Matha Singh and Batha Singh, okay.
Yeah, they are both one and the same thing. It's not true. एक बार देख लिया सबके दाढ़ी, all Sardars have दाढ़ी and mooch and a turban. It doesn't mean all Sardars are alike. There are facial differences.
Compare the other, I mean, you understand because of the height also, no? You can understand.
Oh, lots of features, even in the face itself. The shape of the eyebrows, the eyes, the nose, the mouth. Unless there is a clear-cut difference between Captain Amrinder Singh and Navjot Singh Sidhu, shakal mein, or Jaspal Singh Bhatti.
Yeah.
They are not all the same. One look at the face and you can make out. Because I have Sikhs in my family now through marriage.
Okay.
And some of my very good school friends are from that community. I never had a problem. And also, I also a student who was from there. Gurpreet Singh Sandhu is a merchant navy guy. Last 6 months, he is docked off the coast of South America. I just sent a message, how are you? I call him GP. How are you, GP? Kahan par ho? I hope you're safe from the pandemic. So time laga. Once he got the signal, he sent a message. Sir, last 6 months, I am on a ship outside in the international waters near South America. I'm sorry, I can't give you the exact location, but I am off on the sea, totally safe from the pandemic. We can't go to the shore and nobody can come in onto the ship. But I recognized him very well, no problem in the class. I used to have 3 Sardars who would sit together in the class. Saath baithte the. I had no problem recognizing them. There are some students who said, yes, sir, they all look alike. Gaur se dekho. Don't be blind to that. When you can recognize other faces, that means you can recognize these faces also. When you can't recognize other faces, then I can agree. Yeah, das ist dann prosopagnosis. Right? So it's not just we can recognize ourselves. For people in the north, it's very difficult to make out people in the south. You go to the interior of Tamil Nadu, everybody there is black. Everybody wears white shirt and white lungi. And everybody has got some ash mark on the head. Is it Muttulingam or Suttulingam or Setulingam? You don't know. Why? Right? So some initial confusion we have, aber nicht Prosopagnosis. Wir leiden nicht daran. Und what is interesting, also ich lese nicht alles, wir verstehen das sowieso. Ja. Besonders, wo ist denn, also Achal, oh, क्या हो गया उसको? ये कब निकली बाहर?
सर वो आंसर
Achal,
टाइपिंग नेट इशू हो रहा है.
Oh. Ja, ich verstehe. Her audio is also not coming. If she can hear us, that's good enough. So, mal hier zum Beispiel. Besonders angeborene Prosopagnosie sei sehr viel weiter verbreitet, als man bislang vermutet habe. Than assumed today. It's much more assumed. Hunderttausende von Deutschen haben Schwierigkeiten, Nachbarn, Kollegen und Freunde auf der Straße oder anderswo zu erkennen, ohne zu wissen, warum. So don't be surprised if your best friend doesn't recognize you. For all you know, that best friend suffers from prosopagnosia. Or a German is not able to recognize you or recall your name. Probably he or she doesn't know, has forgotten your face, or the face doesn't register. So it's a fascinating scientific topic, something to do with the brain. Also diese Lektion hier, Erinnerungen, das ist alles mit dem Gehirn was zu tun, mit dem Gedächtnis, mit dem Gehirn. Und natürlich gibt es hier solche Texte. Das ist nicht nur um Lernen, wie man lernt, wie man beherrscht, wie man liest, spricht und so weiter, sondern auch das Problem hier, wie man etwas erkennt. Wir wissen auch, es gibt Leute, die Farben nicht erkennen können. Sie leiden an Farbblindheit. Do you know that?
Yeah, colorblind.
Colorblind. It's also called achromasia. 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 Chrome is color. Achrome, away from color. Asia, suffer. Somebody is suffering from discolor or the ability to recognize color. Achromasia or achromasia. Achromasia. Simple term.
And sir, achromasia, this is in Deutsch to go down.
Yeah, that's in Latinish's word. No? Anything that comes from Latin or Greek into scientific usage is used as it is in German.
Okay, sir.
As it is. You can Germanize it, but you can also use the original word because that is a more prevalent word. Fast jeder versteht das. So Farbenblindheit zum Beispiel, Color blindness. I think there it is the primary colors: red, yellow, green. I think, if I remember color blindness. Könnt ihr mir das sagen? What is color blindness? What are the three colors that you can't identify?
I don't think that is.
No, it's three. It's the three colors basically.
Sometimes between I the Swiminaten, true Swiminaten
No,
happens
it's not
an
that.
argument
Red, green, yellow.
right
I think so. Red, green.
between the muskmelon and between the papaya color, like that way probably.
Yeah,
Ye
so they
kaun sa
cannot,
kaun sa hai,
correct.
like
They
that.
cannot separate between red, green, and yellow, which
The
means
muskmelon और पपीता और खरबूजे का कलर भी
alag hai,
कौन सा
but such
है
people will have a problem. Yeah, they have problems trying to distinguish signal. They only know that red light is at the top. इसको इसमें गाड़ी रोकनी है. उसके नीचे orange is also a shade of red. That also they can't see. Below that is green. They also is not visible to them. The spectrum is not there in their minds. So they only know the light has changed from red, orange, green. So when it comes to the bottom light shining, okay, now I proceed. Or watch the other cars and proceed. Such people, they have problems. They don't get a driving license. So imagine if you're waving a red flag, danger, danger, danger. Why is he waving a flag? Black, मेरे को तो black दिख रहा हो. So there is no treatment for color blindness. It's a genetic defect. No treatment. Or no cure, rather. Treatment gibt es schon. Aber keine Heilung. Das kann nicht geheilt werden. Das kann man ein bisschen behandeln. Ja, das geht schon. Vielleicht mit Brillen. Give them glasses which filter the color, then kind of works. Aber das ist wie dann wieder das Gehirn. So what do you do with such people? Also sie leiden an Farbenblindheit. Hier leiden sie an Gesichtenblindheit. Sie können die Gesichter gar nicht erkennen. So this is one more here. Ohne zu wissen warum. So how will you explain this? Da gibt es keine Erklärung. So what are the questions that you can form to such a text? Das ist die Aufgabe. Without reading and having a rough idea, can you form a question oder mehr als eine Frage? Wie kann man das Gehirn trainieren? Oder welche Fragen kann man hier formulieren, stellen? Can you give me a question to this text?
Aus Guns text?
Yeah. I'm going slightly out of the box here.
The Welshers in the Art und Weise.
Ja?
5 Fragen.
Welshers in die Art und Weise, um die Gesichtsausdruck zu identifizieren.
Die Gesichter zu identifizieren. Okay? Ja, eine gute Frage. Also, wie erkennen wir Personen, Menschen? Stimmt?
Yeah.
Vielleicht? How do we recognize people? Von Gesichtern. Was meint ihr
Wie
von
Sie haben
Gesichtern?
erst gesagt, durch den Duft, durch
Je-
den Duft.
Durch?
So, was Sie erst gesagt haben, ja, durch den Duft. I mean, through the, what you just said, through the smell,
Duft.
body,
Ja, ja,
body odor.
ja, durch Duft.
Duft.
Yeah, but you will not go so close to smell the person first, right? For example, how do you
Then,
recognize
yeah,
Achal?
that will.
How will you recognize Abhi or Anil here?
So, durch die Stimme, durch die Stimme.
Okay, durch die Stimme kann man machen. Aber I'm coming from a distance. Ich spreche nicht.
Dann beobachte oder
So,
merke
wie
ich,
erkennt man die Gesichter?
also diese
diese
Augen
Person
und
klingt.
Nase und Mund, wie diese Person aussieht.
Jawohl. Ja, also die Ohren, ja, die Nase, die Augen, Augenfarben, der Mund, wie ist der Mund strukturiert, wie ist das Lächeln, ja, Haarfarbe und so weiter und so weiter. Okay, that's the first question. What will be the second one? Give me 5 questions.
So, wir haben 2 gestellt, ja?
Nur eine Frage bis jetzt. Wie erkennt man die Gesichter? Nummer 1. Nummer 2.
Und dann die zweite, durch diese Ohren und so, ne? Kann man identifizieren.
Nein, das ist zusammen mit der ersten Frage. Eine andere Frage bitte.
Warum einige Leute leiden von Prosperognis?
Also warum leiden Leute leiden an, to suffer from, nicht von,
Okay.
leiden
Okay.
an, Prosopagnosie. Ja, das ist gut. Ja, das ist von Geburt an. Ne? The answer is also given here.
Ja.
Von Geburt an. Das ist eine angeborene Störung. Das ist angeboren.
Warum die bestimmte, die Gesichter aussieht, die gemeinsame aussehende Person wohnen in die gleiche Community.
Nee, ich habe die Frage nicht mitbekommen. I didn't get the question.
I wanted to say that why people stick to choose in a community only. I mean, there is a community thing, like Chinese people will live with Chinese, they cannot live with the other community, and so we can take up like that they look alike and that's why they feel secure among each other.
Nee, das ist eine andere Sache. Das ist ein soziales Gebiet. Gleich und gleich gesellen sich gern. Das ist das Sprichwort, ne? Gleich und gleich gesellen sich gern. Oder gesellt sich gern, Entschuldigung. You know the proverb, right? Gleich und gleich gesellt sich gern.
Was
bedeutet das? Gleich und gleich gesellt sich gern.
No, sir. The second noun is not. I don't know the meaning of second noun.
Wer kann das erklären? Yeah, Achal, you have raised the hand.
Took me a light, sir.
I see a hand raised here.
No, sir, गलती से हो गया आज थोड़ा सा नेटवर्क इशू है.
So how do I? हाथ कैसे नीचे होगा तुम्हारा? हाथ नीचे करो. मेरा हाथ ऊपर हो गया.
करती हूँ
Okay,
sir.
mine's come down. You click on the hand again, वो नीचे हो जाएगा. हाँ, हो गया. कोई सभी? अरे यार.
And it's back again.
Ja, der war gerade hier. Also wieder Netzprobleme. Gleich und gleich gesellt sich gern. Auf Englisch heißt das Birds of a feather flock together.
Yeah.
Birds of a feather flock together. That is the meaning here. Gleich und gleich gesellt sich gern. Gesellen, to come together, form a society. Das schon, aber das ist nicht der Grund. Das ist nicht der Grund. So, warum leiden Leute an Prosopagnosie? Das ist eine gute Frage. So, then you have to give the explanation. Das ist von Geburt an eine angeborene. Angeborene means inborn. Tadaishi, literally. Ja, das ist eine angeborene Störung. Okay, can you give me two other questions?
हेलो
या ये तो अभी की आवाज लग रही है मेरे पीछे नहीं somebody else.
हेलो
Hello. Aditi guy.
सर आप
Another question. From your question, Anil. Gibt es eine Heilung gegen diese Störung? Kann man diese Störung heilen?
Okay.
Is it heilbar? Is it curable?
Yeah.
It's a logical thing, right?
Yeah.
Ist es heilbar? Nein, wenn es angeboren ist, das ist nicht heilbar. Aber man kann versuchen, mit diesen Leuten ein bisschen diplomatisch umzugehen und diese Leute auch erklären, wie man Gesichter erkennt und so weiter und so weiter. Und man braucht auch viel mehr Forschung in diesem Gebiet. Sometimes even with age, we can have this problem. When you start aging, then you lose this ability to recognize faces.
Yeah.
It need not be Alzheimer's or whatever, but slowly over a period of time, you start losing the faces from your memory. It happens. Gibt es hier eine Heilung? Ist diese Störung, you have to call it a disturbance, you can't call it an illness. Ist diese Störung, ist dieses Problem heilbar? So questions like these you can easily form when you are exposed to such a text. In fact, as you read along, you should be able to formulate questions. What kind of problem would there be there in a kindergarten, unter Kinder zum Beispiel? You won't believe it, as it says here. 50% des Nachwuchses von Prosopagnostikern hätten selbst Probleme mit Gesichtern. This is a very serious issue then. Just look at the sentence, yeah. Yeah, Aditi ist wieder zurück. Yeah, okay. Have you understood the sentence? 50% des Nachwuchses von Prosopagnostikern. 50% of the descendants, the next generation, children of prosopagnostics. 50%. they have problems with faces.
Warum? Wie? Wieso?
Ja, also das hat man dann schon bemerkt. If there's a person, der an Prosopagnosie leidet, Entschuldigung, there's a person who suffers from prosopagnosia. There is a 50% chance that this person's next generation, children, will also suffer from prosopagnosia.
Okay.
So 1 out of 2 such people will have a child who also cannot recognize faces. It's a bigger problem. So wie ist es mit den Kindern? Die dritte Frage. Without reading, you should be able to follow it. Wie ist es mit Kindern? Ist das nicht ein größeres Problem? Also Kinder sind sehr, sehr sozial, das wissen wir alle. Was passiert, wenn das Kind die Lehrerin nicht erkennt? Nicht zu sprechen von seinen Mitschülern, not to speak of his fellow learners. The child is not able to recognize his own teacher. And what will the teacher think? The child is being naughty, mischievous, extra smart. Nobody thinks of prosopagnosia. So the child gets scolding. Slowly, the child gets withdrawn. Then he starts suffering from all kinds of delusions, illusions, and so weiter, and so weiter. Socially withdrawn, wants to be alone, depressed. Isn't it? So it's not necessarily, is not able to make out differences. Oh my God, this is an autistic child. Arey Baba, first find out. It is not necessarily autism. It could be something else. This last paragraph. Ich habe euch auch eine Anekdote erzählt von einer jüngeren Kollegin von mir. Sie hat sich beklagt, dass es in ihrer Klasse ein Student gäbe, der immer Probleme mit der Orthographie hat. He's always interchanging the words. Always. He says, I don't know, I can't explain to him. This is the wrong spelling. And he does it repeatedly. Immer wieder macht er das. Such a dumb student. So it was nothing but inspiration. I'm not a doctor. Ich habe gesagt, bitte zeig mir diese Aufgabe. Then she showed me the Aufgabe. I saw the Aufgabe and saw that the mistakes were happening with the same combination of letters. The ST and TS in this case, they would be interchanged. Immer wieder, the same combination. Die anderen Wörter waren perfekt. Also warum nur hier? And I told her, this is dyslexia. Interchanging the alphabets. Did you know that? Oh, I never thought about it. Of course, I knew about it, but I never thought about it. So there's nothing wrong with the child. Der lernt gut. Der kann gut sprechen, aber beim Schreiben hat er dann dieses Problem. I said, now you have to go to some clinical person and see how this problem is solved. Ich habe keine Lösung. Ich bin kein Psychologe oder Psychiater. talk to the parents and suggest that this problem is lifelong with him. If he goes into a profession where he has to write, then there'll be a problem with this interchanging the words, these letters. And then contact the parents. If you can't speak to the parents, ask them to come and see me. I'll advise them. Also, viele von uns als Eltern, als Erwachsenen, wir erkennen das Problem nicht. So, die Frage hier, wie kann man das erkennen? Kann man das früh erkennen? So you can easily think of questions to any text. It's not difficult. Ja, also jetzt kommen wir hier zurück. Prosopagnosie, das war was Neues für uns alle, oder? I'm sure none of you heard this one before. Did you?
Yeah, sir.
Absolut neu, oder?
Yes, sir.
So tomorrow, if you're not able to recognize me, then I think I can safely assume prosopagnosie.
No. Es very experience, sir.
Ja, momentan habe ich deutsche Wörter Prognosis.
मेरे साथ हो जाता है कई बार मैंने अगर किसी को एक बार देखा और अगर 2 साल बाद मिली तो थोड़ी सी मुझे प्रॉब्लम होती है रिकॉग्नाइज करने में.
Yeah, that's just okay. That's just not. Otherwise, once you know who it is, you won't make the mistake. Huh?
Yeah, right, sir.
Achal?
रिश्ते सर रिश्ते ये चीज नहीं होती है.
Can you recognize your mother, your sister, and everybody?
Yeah, definitely, sir. Sure.
See, so that means you don't suffer from this. So, chinta mukti.
Sir, but dyslexia is a problem, no? That you have an issue with the numbers, right? With the numbers and all.
No, not numbers. Also with letters, alphabets. You interchange the alphabets. Dyslexia also means spelling वगैरह भी गड़बड़ करते हो. ST की जगह TS लिख देते हो, for example.
Okay.
That is dyslexia. Okay. So let's look at this Erinnern und Vergessen. Übung hier. Ordnen Sie die Wörter mit ähnlicher Bedeutung zu. Gefühl bedeutet Empfindung oder Gespür. Empfindung, Sensibility, and
Discovery, no?
Sensibility. You're feeling.
Sensitivity.
Sensibility. Sensibility. Correct. That's what I meant. Correct. That's what I meant.
Okay.
Gespür in the inner feeling. So they form a set here. So what can come with Augenblick?
Sir, Gespür is inner feeling. Okay.
Yeah. It's that कुछ हो रहा है type यार. Yeah, कुछ हो रहा है.
Okay.
I can't explain it any better.
This is a better example.
Sir, Augenblick unterschiedlich?
Nee. Mit ähnlicher Bedeutung brauche ich. Aus diesem Kasten.
Augenblick is your...
Out of this.
A moment.
Sir, Pala Japana Augenblick, right?
Moment
Yes,
und
something that is
Zeitpunkt.
equal. Sehr gut. Moment und
Zeitpunkt.
Zeitpunkt. Ja, Moment und Zeitpunkt.
Sir, how come?
Okay. It's the same meaning here. Ähnliche Bedeutung, similar meaning. We are looking for synonymal words.
But Augenblick is what?
Augenblick is moment.
So Überblick is auch a moment. Überblick, overview.
Overview.
Yeah.
So we are looking for synonyms here.
So,
Entschlüssel. Nee, okay, cholo. Let's try verschieden. Verschieden. Synonym for
Unterschiedlich.
so
verschieden.
what is
Unterschiedlich, sehr gut. Und one more. One more. Egal.
synonym for Entschlüssel? Entschlüssel?
Ja, Moment. Verschieden. Wir machen verschieden zuerst.
Sir,
Unterschiedlich?
Entsiffen.
Nein.
Ah,
Unterschiedlich?
Sehr groß. No.
It has to be an adjective.
Sir, mächtig.
Auch nicht. I don't tell me all of it.
nein.
छोड़
Nein.
दो Speichern. Wir speichern.
Speichern is to save.
Synonym.
Speichern, losen.
Aufbewahren.
Losen.
Aufbewahren. Sir, aufbewahren.
Sehr gut. Also aufbewahren. Noch eins.
Was bedeutet aufbewahren?
That is to save only.
सर स्पारन
Ja, कहाँ है sparen?
सर स्पाइशन का aufbewahren
Aufbewahren. Und?
Sir,
Noch
kann man,
eins. Egal.
Sir, kann man, nein. Lösen kann man nicht sagen, na?
Yeah,
Nein.
So that is to solve.
opposite.
सर स्पारन नहीं आएगा
Sir,
Yeah, kहाँ है?
schießen, but that is to shoot.
Okay.
Schießen
हाँ.
is to shoot. पता नहीं सर कौन सा है इसमें.
Okay. Then let's try Region.
Region, Bereich.
Bereich. Gebiet,
Gebiet.
Ungebiet.
Gebiet.
Okay. हो गया. Feuern.
Feuer.
Feuern, that is to. Also sehr
Behalten.
groß, that is fire, na? Sehr groß.
As a verb, feuern.
Behalten.
Feuern. So.
Feuer.
Sir, feuern is fire, no? Acha, schießen.
Und
Bombardieren.
genau. So
So feuern
bombardieren.
heißt to shoot, sir.
Ja, to fire. Fire.
Okay.
Bombardieren und schießen. Okay.
Okay.
Dann riesig.
Sir, sehr groß.
Mächtig und sehr groß.
Und
Sehr
mächtig, ja.
Ja, mächtig und sehr groß. Ja, बैठ गया. Okay. Entschlüsseln.
सर अब तो abweichend और entziffen ही बचता है.
नहीं, अभी बहुत है. Ich habe das Problem entschlüsselt.
lösen
So, was ist Menschlüsselt?
Lösen. Und.
lösen
Lösen.
Entziffern.
Entziffern is good.
Sir, was heißt das?
What is entziffern? To decode. All three mean to decode something, to find the solution to something.
Sir,
So what is another one?
what is another one?
Lösen, entziffern und entschlüsseln.
Season.
They're all synonyms. Your entziffern, entschlüsseln und lösen.
Nein.
Lösen.
Loosen. Okay.
Okay, then what is
Yeah,
that now?
That is to solve.
Yeah.
Yeah. Entziffern is to decipher.
Okay.
To decipher, to decode, to decrypt, to solve. Okay, then we say speichern. Aufbewahren und
So speichern is to save, no? So that is yeah.
Sir, behalten.
aufbewahren.
Sir, behalten.
Huh.
Behalten, natürlich, Anchal, sehr gut. Speichern,
Behalten.
behalten. What is behalten?
To
Behave.
contain.
To
To
hold.
contain.
To hold, रखना, दिमाग में रखना, speichern, behalten.
Okay.
To hold.
Ja, ja genau. Und verschieden, ab तो निकल आया.
Verschieden, sir.
Verschieden,
Moment हाँ हो गया.
Abweichend.
abweichend,
Unterschiedlich.
unterschiedlich,
Unterschiedlich.
Sir, abweichend bedeutet?
deviating, divergent, deviating, varying,
Kai, Abweichung.
abweichen, हटके, हटना किसी चीज से.
Okay.
Okay? These are ordinary words used in a synonymous manner. They all belong to the same Wortfeld. They're all part of the same word range. Speichern is normally in Gedächtnis speichern. Aufbewahren kann man auch sagen, aber aufbewahren can also be I give you something to keep safely. That is aufbewahren. ये बहुत कीमती चीज है इस डब्बे में, इसको आप डब्बा कहीं संभाल के रखिए. So there I can't say speichern. There I have to say aufbewahren. Bitte bewahren Sie das Paket, dieses Karton auf. संभाल के रखना. Keep this packet somewhere safely. Store it safely. Save it
And
somewhere
behalten
safely.
Beispiel, sir?
Behalten again with what? Mit Worten zum Beispiel.
Mit?
With words. I can give you a meaning with behalten in terms of words. Can you keep this word very safely in your brain somewhere? Behalten Sie das. Retain it, maintain it.
Okay, retain is the right word. Yeah.
Im Auge behalten.
Okay.
So that
Keep
is
that in your eyes. Keep that in your eyes. Don't forget. I've shown you this. For example, I don't have it here. Okay, I'm showing you this cloth.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Bitte behalten Sie das Auge. आंख में कंटेन करना है इसको. Keep it in your eye. This color. That's true. इसको मैं गायब कर दूंगा. Got it?
Behalten im Kopf auch? Dimag
Yeah,
mein
im
dal.
Auge behalten. To keep in view, to keep something, to keep an eye on something. Im Auge behalten.
Hmm.
Right? Okay. So, jetzt hier. Welches Wort passt nicht?
Sir, können wir erst wissen, was bedeutet
Sir.
all diese Wort oder?
I think you know
Erraten
all of them.
vielleicht. Erraten.
Ja, reicht dann, ja.
Sehr gut, Aditi. What do the other three mean?
Sir, in recognize, discover, and again, to discover.
Research.
Assertion is also research. Yeah.
To do the research. Yeah. What is erraten?
And ratten is to advise.
I think
Ratten is out to advise only.
Erraten means to guess.
Was?
Yes.
To advise, sir. To advise.
To guess. To guess something. Guess. Nine. To guess. To guess.
Okay, sir. Oh, yeah.
Bujna. Don't.
No.
We like Vermuten, no? We like Vermuten.
Nine. Vermuten is not that guess. Erraten is. Do you remember? There's a very old song. Booj mera kya naam re? Nadi kinare gaon. Bujna. I give you a sawal and you have to bujho the antwort.
Okay.
What has got legs but cannot walk? Kannst du die Antwort erraten? Kannst du den Gegenstand erraten? Was hat Beine, kann aber nicht gehen?
सर फिर फ्रंटिंग हो गया अपनी तरफ से कुछ सोच विचार लगाना
That is a different guess. वो अंदाजा लगाना.
दैट इज अ डिफरेंट गेस
That means अंदाजा.
अंदाजा लगाना
Here you have to now bujna. Was hat Beine, kann aber nicht gehen? Can you tell me the answer? Can you guess the answer?
So erraten is basically like to solve a query, to solve a quiz.
Yeah, raten is something
Erraten is
different.
like that.
Erraten. Erraten is to guess. What has legs but
Yes.
cannot walk?
Hanji. Okay.
बोलो, ये puzzle है. What has legs
What
but
is?
cannot walk? What has legs but cannot
Sir,
walk?
chair.
Yeah, a chair or a table, for example.
Yeah.
So you guess the answer. This is the erraten. Right? Okay. Number 2. Logisch, schlüssig, absichtlich, folgerichtig.
सर absichtlich 9
Is correct.
करेक्ट ना
Absolutely correct. So what does logisch, schlüssig und folgerichtig mean?
Anchal, we asked the errated.
We have to this
Absichtlich.
erraten.
Gerard.
Yeah, we have to this erraten.
We asked this erraten.
Yeah,
Absichtlich.
raten, read geraten.
सर logisch is something logical
Correct.
folgerichtig is out something like something going to the right
Correct.
direction
Correct.
Sluices is
Sluices.
out something like that
Absolutely.
Schlüssig.
Schlüssig is a
Yeah.
direct synonym of logisch. Conclusive, yeah, logical. Logisch and schlüssig both have the same, they are synonyms, one for the other.
So logis is the
Conclusive,
logic.
or what is yeah?
Logisch is logical.
Yeah, schlüssig is also logical. Das ist auch logical, logisch. Aber absichtlich, was bedeutet absichtlich?
Intention.
Intentional.
yes sir.
So absichtlich. Das passt nicht in die Reihe. Okay. What about number 3?
Sir, erfassen?
एक मिनट आराम से begreifen, erfassen, empfinden, lernen.
Sir, begreifen.
Lernen, ich denke.
I think empfinden to discover, to invent something.
Right?
Yeah.
Nein, empfinden is
That
sensitive.
is erfinden. You are confusing between erfinden and
Oh,
empfinden. Hello, इधर है ना?
Yeah, sir. Okay. Feeling. Okay, sir.
So यहाँ पे क्या ठीक नहीं है?
Sir, it's empfinden.
It's empfinden, correct?
Yeah, it's empfinden.
Empfinden. Yeah.
Also here, empfinden. That's what here. And
So sensitivity.
empfinden, to be sensitive.
So if I want to say you are a sensitive person, du bist eine empfindende Person.
Empfindlicher.
Empfindliche.
Begreifen is verstehen, to understand. Erfassen is also verstehen, understand. Lernen is also a kind of verstehen. So
Learning.
begreifen,
Not
erfassen und lernen,
Yeah.
they are three of the same kind.
So begreifen heißt
Sensitivity.
auch verstehen.
Yeah.
In welchem context? Normalerweise, I understand this on side. Begriff.
Ja, also das Konzept habe ich nicht begriffen.
Okay.
Ich kann dieses Konzept nicht begreifen.
Sir, just like
Dieses
comprehend.
Konzept kann ich nicht begreifen. Comprehend, correct. Comprehend. ये पकड़ में नहीं आ रहा. Greifen is to पकड़ना, right? Greifen, to hold, to grasp. I'm not able to
Okay.
grasp this concept. So begreifen.
So it's more than understand. Understand is ein. Okay.
It's a slightly higher version of understanding.
Yeah.
Okay, next one. Next one.
Verdecken.
Aditi, you will solve this.
Follow.
The Sudecken.
Aufdecken.
Aufdecken is correct. Aufdecken is correct. Why?
Great, Anil.
Ich habe diese Wort gelernt.
Sir, abdecken is to cover, no?
Yeah.
Sehr gut. Abdecken to cover, aufdecken to uncover.
But Sudecken is also to uncover, no?
So when you have no to cover, Abdecken, Sudecken, and Verdecken, all three mean to cover in various contexts.
Okay.
Right? For example, if you take a loan from a bank, then you have to cover that loan with some security deposit. Bank बोलता है ना, इसका कुछ security चाहिए.
Yes, sir.
So that loan you will updecken with your house. घर को गिरवी रख के you are covering that loan. That is updecken.
Means mortgage.
Something like mortgage, yes. Don't pronounce the T. The T is silent in English. Mortgage.
Mortgage.
Mortgage. So it is that cover. When you say Sudecken, रात को bed पे, you cover yourself with a blanket. That's Sudecken. बहुत easy है यार. I don't know why you people are confusing yourselves. Don't confuse yourselves. Verdecken मतलब you are concealing something. किसी को छुपा रहे हो, किसी वस्तु को छुपा रहे हो.
Just like
For
Verdecken,
example, yes, correct.
Was?
Correct. I'm a failure Verdecken.
Hmm.
You're covering up a mistake. That is that Verdecken. You're trying to hide a mistake. Verstecken. Sehr gut, Adri. Well done. Well done.
Done.
They are actually simple meanings. No example.
No, but confusing both is there.
Hey, this is the most difficult part, if at all, in German.
No,
It
sir.
breaks us. No,
Sir,
I couldn't even
prefix
get
है.
denomination.
सर सीवन में बहुत सारा ऐसा ग्रामर टॉपिक भी है जो भी डिफिकल्ट है, जैसे आपने जो कल परसों की
Yes,
क्लास
sir.
में बताया था.
Grammar topics I can explain. You can understand. Das könnt ihr.
Sir, voice is cutting.
Das könnt ihr erfassen. There is no fixed meaning to the prefix. नहीं सिग्नल तो ठीक है. There is no fixed meaning to the prefix.
Yes, sir. आपकी आवाज कट गया है.
अभी भी is this yet
नहीं sir, now it's better.
Now, es ist besser hier.
So you
Now
can
it's
have
better.
fixed meaning. Also es gibt keine feste Bedeutung zu den Präfixen. How will you use a preference if you don't know the first bedeutung? Das muss man einfach lernen. Right? There is verstecken. Stecken is inside. किसी चीज के अंदर डालना stecken. Fair मतलब ऊपर से उसको ढक दिया. So to hide. Verdecken, there is something already lying. Usko you covered with something. It's also to hide. In one hide, उसको किसी चीज के अंदर डाल रहे हो, verstecken. And here, उस वस्तु को किसी चीज से cover कर रहे हो. Also to hide. So it's a question of the process itself. Hey, what's the sound? Lots of money? Is it money or monkeys? Huh?
Sir, aufdecken. Aufdecken. Discuss.
To uncover. Remove that.
What? What remove?
Whatever you have covered, you remove it. Uncover. You uncover.
Okay.
So aufdecken is the opposite of the other three.
Okay.
Yeah. These you see my number films.
Sir Achal got a lot of money. Sir, what happens if to a plausible meaning is that?
What? Sorry? Money?
Plausible.
Yeah. Plausible, verständlich, einleuchtend. This is easy. This is very easy.
Sir, leuchten is something जो चमकीला होता है. Einleuchten something astonishing. Zweifelhaft.
Verständlich, understanding, and einlaut.
Sir, Numa fears zweifelhaft.
Yeah.
Astonishing. Okay, then Zweifelhaft is the odd man.
Deine Antwort ist plausibel. Yeah.
Nein, zweifelhaft.
So what is the answer?
Zweifelhaft, sir, zweifelhaft.
Zweifelhaft.
Ist richtig. All the other three. Ja, das ist richtig. Leuchtend. Die sind. Die Wörter für etwas ist okay. Deine Antwort ist plausibel. Your answer is plausible. It is believable. Believable, plausibel. Ja, glaubhaft, glaubwürdig. Ihre Antwort ist verständlich.
Plausible.
Glaubwürdig. Glaubwürdig. Das kann man glauben.
Believable.
Ja. Verständlich. Comprehensible.
Understandable.
Understandable. Einleuchtend. Enlightening.
Oh,
So
enlightening.
Zweifelhaft is the Antwort?
Zweifelhaft is the
Doubtful.
answer. Doubtful. All the others are positive. Zweifelhaft is negative.
Sir, wenn Sie sagen plausible is glaubwürdig, so that is believable. Can I use plausible for a person?
Normally it's used with things, but
Situation.
situations, yes. It's a plausible situation.
I think for persons it would be trustworthy.
Trustworthy is correct, a better option. Correct answer. Absolutely correct.
Yeah, believable is for the situation and trustworthy is for the people.
Yes.
Diese Lage ist sehr plausible.
Yeah. Diese Situation, diese Lage plausible.
Okay, sir.
Why are we having so much of summer or heat these days? गर्मी क्यों बढ़ रही है?
Wegen der dieser global warming.
Globale Erwärmung. Also warum globale Erwärmung? Weil wir alle Bäume zerhackt haben. सारे पेड़ काट डाले.
Yes, sir.
Ja, das ist eine plausible Erklärung.
Okay.
है ना? It's a believable thing. हाँ, मान सकता हूँ मैं वो. That is plausible. Verständlich? हाँ, वो समझ में आ रही बात. Verständlich. Einleuchtend? अरे ये तो तुमने तो बहुत रोशनी डाल.
Sir, ich bin jetzt sehr entleuchtet. Sir,
Participe 1.
no, I want to say I have become an enlightened person. Ich habe jetzt eine Person erlichtet, like that.
No, it has to be with participe 2 if at all. You can't.
I've been made to toss around
Use it with participe
from AD to an Amusha. It is so fucking embarrassing.
1.
Sir, hello. Sir, you are not audible. Hello.
Hello.
See, I
Yeah.
Hello?
extend the
Let's get rid of
Erklärung. Hello.
Hello, sir.
Adaya?
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, so this is fine now. This is fill by Achal.
Sir, बीच-बीच में होता है सर. अब ठीक है. Now it is better.
नहीं वो तुम्हारे है मेरे तो एकदम कंसिस्टेंट है. My network is perfectly alright. That's okay.
मेरे यहाँ ही हो रहा है. औरों को
नहीं.
कुछ औरों की टाइम आवाज नहीं कटती.
कटा था अभी ठीक है.
Okay. Okay.
That's okay.
I'm sorry, sir.
Also einleuchtend is something similar to plausible. Ein einleuchtendes Beispiel. It's a very clear example. It's a very believable example you've given.
Ein leuchtendes Beispiel.
Yeah. Einleuchtendes.
Yes, sir. Yes. Because it is das Beispiel.
Yeah.
Buddha is einleuchtend.
Nine. That you cannot use.
Then how?
Sir, he bring
No, not
enlightenment.
possible. Einleuchtend means something believable. Enlightenment is Aufklärung.
Aufklärung.
Ah,
You said this is enlightening.
this is a
This.
बत्ती चमकना. हाँ
Oh.
हो सकता है. That is that. It is that बत्ती चमकना here. Enlightenment
Okay.
is Aufklärung oder Erleuchtung. But if you use it for Buddha, it is Aufklärung.
Sir, zum Beispiel mit einleuchten kann ich sagen, oh, jetzt das Zimmer ist einleuchtend.
Yeah.
Not the Thema. But deine Entschuldigung ist einleuchtet. Your excuse is believable. वो मैं मान सकता हूँ.
Okay.
Sir, es ist immer einleuchtend oder einleuchtend.
Einleuchtend, Partizip 1, adjective.
Immer with participle 1.
Yeah, that's an adjective, no? Partizip 1 is an adjective. It's a form of an adjective.
Sir, I got that, but the जो word है einleuchtend भी हो सकता है या हमेशा ये आता ही as a participle 1 है?
Aha. नहीं, you can also use it as a
Okay,
verb.
sir. Das ist meine Frage. Danke, sir.
Yeah, das kann auch als Verb gebraucht.
Yes, sir.
When you say einleuchten, it actually means in what sense?
Realize. Yes. No?
Yes, you're very clear. You're very clear. For example, pandemic ले लो, COVID का. Die Erklärung des Arztes leuchtet mir ein. Was very clear to me, made sense to me, was comprehensible to me. That is the word einleuchten, to be made clear, to be clear, for me to comprehend. Was die Ärzte sagen, leuchtet mir ein. Is clear to me. What the doctors say is clear to me. That is the meaning einleuchten als Verb. It is comprehensible. मैं समझ गया कि वो क्या कह रहे हैं. मेरे दिमाग की बत्ती जल गई. That is at einleuchten. Don't confuse it with मेरी अंतरात्मा की बत्ती जल गई और मैं बुद्धा बन गया. That is different. It is Aufklärung. It is Aufklärung. Right?
Yeah, Viravan, this is a word Aufklärung, gestern gelernt, aufzuklären.
Yeah.
That is clarify.
To clarify, yes. So who am I? Who am I? What am I? Where am I? Why am I? Ich kläre alle diese Fragen auf und ich bin auch Gautam Buddha.
But es gibt Unterschied zwischen Clarify und Enlightenment. Clarify ist einfach, but Enlightenment.
Yeah.
सर एनलाइटनमेंट जागरूकता होना, मतलब अपने बारे में जागरूक होना.
Yes. So
That is something.
The same word can be used in different contexts.
Okay.
सर ऐसा भी तो मैं किसी सिचुएशन के बारे में जागरूक हूँ, पूरा अवेयर हूँ.
Yeah, so the same word can be used, ना? अलग-अलग सिचुएशन में अलग-अलग मीनिंग निकल आती हैं. उसी लफ्ज के.
einleuchtend, जागरूक के लिए वर्ड है einleuchten. But sir, on the one hand, you said that's a very clear example. जैसे einleuchtendes Beispiel, very clear example. मतलब उसमें तो फर्क है ना, जागरूक और very clear होने में फर्क है कि सेम ही है.
I didn't say aufgeklärtes Beispiel. I said einleuchtendes. Einleuchtendes is like verständliches Beispiel and plausibles Beispiel. It's a very, very believable example. It's a very clear example.
तो फिर यहाँ पे जागरूक कैसे आ गया? जागरूक तो एक अलग चीज हो गई.
कैसे हो गई भाई? उसका हिडन मीनिंग क्या है? जागरूकता क्या होता है? It's a deeper understanding of something, a deeper understanding. There you are.
Yes.
बात तो वही हुई ना. तो तुमने जो मिसाल अभी यहाँ कायम किया है या जो तुमने यहाँ पे जो मिसाल दिया है, that is einleuchtend. It's very clear. I understand that. समझ में आ गई मुझे बात. Das ist ein einleuchtendes Beispiel. It's simple. It's a very plausible excuse. Why have you come late to class? 10 बजे क्लास होती है, तुम 11 बजे आ रही हो. सर रात को नाइट शिफ्ट था और मैं सुबह 8 बजे ही सोया हूँ या 7-8 बजे ही सोई हूँ. सोचा था जल्दी उठ जाऊंगी, नहीं उठ पाई, थोड़ा लेट हो गई. Okay. Das ist eine einleuchtende Entschuldigung. That means, हाँ, ये मेरी समझ में आ गई बात. 8 बजे सोई और 2 घंटे में नहीं उठ पाई, 3 घंटे लगे. Oh yes, that is plausible, that is understandable, that is believable, that is comprehensible. This is einleuchtend. Very simple. So don't confuse the two. One is with philosophy, one is with the normal usage. Because your questions, who am I, where am I, why am I? Also, jede versteht diese Fragen. But you ask these questions to a philosopher, वो कुछ और सुनाएगा तुम्हें. मैं कौन हूँ, कहाँ हूँ, क्यों हूँ? For a philosopher, these things mean different. You ask your mother these questions, मैं कौन हूँ, मेरी बेटी हूँ, और क्या है, क्या सवाल है, बेहुदा सवाल. अरे बेहुदा सवाल तो ठीक है. Then you go find some guru somewhere. मैं कौन हूँ बेटा, इसको समझने के लिए, and then I go off into a discourse. वहाँ पे वो अलग समझेगा. But the question is the same. So essence on the situation आप ना.
तो सर जो एनलाइटमेंट है वो एक फिर एक अलग तरह की जागरूकता है ना. That is something philosophical.
Philosophical or spiritual, das kommt darauf an.
या तो वो यहाँ नहीं फिट बैठेगी ना फिर.
नहीं बैठेगी. So the context is not there. So you look for the other context.
Okay.
Ja? Es ist fast 12:30. Anil,
Yeah.
Kein Meeting? Aditi, du auch kein Meeting?
So today the class got cancelled, so I don't have anything. I mean,
Okay.
Now, yeah, now it will be in the evening.
Okay. So have a look at these words.
Yes,
Andaza
sir.
lagao, guess karo. Erraten. Erraten, what does not fit. We'll deal with it tomorrow. Also from here, 6 to 10.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, sir. Alles
Mag
klar.
erraten.
Sir,
Ja.
one more thing. Es ist ein Bitte, wenn Sie können. Also, we are ending the class on Saturday. Even after later, if we'll send you some writing part, like
Yeah.
you can check and send us back, right?
Yes. Yes, kein Problem.
Sir, if we
Okay.
need you for grammar problem, will you be there now?
WhatsApp ist da.
Okay, okay.
WhatsApp ist immer da. Und Telefon bin
Yes,
ich,
yes.
also per Telefon, per Handy bin ich immer erreichbar.
Thank you
Vielen
so
Dank,
much,
sir.
sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
No
Vielen Dank.
problem. I'm available. हाँ एक है शाम को 7 से 8:30 के बीच में कॉल नहीं करना.
Right, sir.
Right,
Because
sir.
I'm normally on call with my daughter at that time.
I see. Sir, she's in
वो
Canada, right?
हाँ she's in Canada. वो मैंने
Sir, has
टाइम
she found the
उसको
job?
छोड़ रखा है.
Sir, has she
Yeah,
found the job?
She's
Knock
found
नहीं?
something. She's found something, but she's not happy.
Oh,
Well,
sir,
She's
that's
not
okay.
happy.
She's not happy. वो मैं समझ सकता हूँ. She is very, very fussy about these things. वो उसको can now then job will see happens.
sir, what kind of job is she looking for?
Something to do with her qualifications of MBA in sustainability.
Okay.
MBA in sustainability. What's the MBA in finance, MBA in HR? What is sustainability means?
I don't know. My syllabus also is limited to MBA finance, MBA business. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some maybe it's a personal choice. Something.
Yeah, it's a proper course, 2-year course offered by the University of Alberta.
Hmm.
And at that time, universities were open, country was open, there was no COVID.
So, sir, is there any side effects of COVID in Canada? Because earlier
Very
I
much.
heard that government was paying the expenses of citizens. So,
They were doing that, ये सब चल रहा है वहाँ पे, and because of this COVID, many offices are still not opened up. There's a third wave or something now in the country. Everybody is not yet being vaccinated. She has got both her shots. And since offices are not open, they are not willing to right now select people into jobs. Es gibt auch Probleme. Ich habe ihr gesagt, also Geduld muss man haben. So ab und zu mal ruft sie dann an, so I kept that time free for her.
Okay,
कभी भी
sir.
कॉल कर लो, I am available.
okay. Thank you, sir.
So वो सुबह करती है call because that's her early morning then. And she starts
Okay.
to get to work, and sometimes she's doesn't sound in a mood, so फिर मैं उसका mood बनाता हूँ. She gets very upset about lots of things, so उसकी टांग खींचनी पड़ती है. So joke around with her, pull her leg, and she slowly comes around.
Okay. That's nice.
And because she's also alone there, na? Covid में she cannot be sozial, na? Man kann nicht mit anderen treffen.
Yeah.
So that, yeah. So diese Einsamkeit ist auch nicht gut.
Richtig gesagt.
So I said, anytime, just call, I'm available.
Thanks. Thank you, sir.
So इसलिए मैंने बोला वो time नहीं. Just send me a message. I'll definitely see it and get back to you.
Okay, sir.
Sure. Vielen Dank,
Ja,
sir.
dann können wir das ausmachen. Wir können das ausmachen. Wie viel Uhr oder zu welcher Zeit können wir miteinander sprechen. Das kann man auch machen.
Sir,
Okay, sir. Okay.
sir, still frage, sir, real bedeutet hier, real auf gleich English?
Wo?
Real. Akte. Door of real.
Nine.
Oh, real.
Great.
हाँ.
That is
You have to tell
REAL,
me.
no, of English.
REEL. Real.
Yeah, real. You have to tell me. What doesn't fit into the line? Dauerhaft, ständig, unaufhörlich oder real? Tell me now itself. This is one of the easiest to solve.
It's like a real.
Sir.
Real?
Correct.
Dower after is a permanent. Ständig is
Continuous.
Continuous, yeah.
okay.
Same dish is
Yeah.
auch continuous.
Unaufhörlich. Nice. What is this?
Sir, aufhören is to stop.
Ja, unaufhörlich.
Yeah.
Non-stop.
Continuous. That is something.
Ja,
Non-stop.
yeah.
And real is
Real means English real.
real. REAL.
REAL.
Real.
Correct. Real, realistic.
Like reels you make on Instagram. Reels.
Realistic. Real. Real itself. Real numbers. Real
wir haben
answer.
wir haben gleiche Wort in Deutsch auch. Real.
Yeah.
Then
No. That real is different. See, zum Beispiel, Indien hat keine reelle Chance gegen Belgien in the hockey match. They didn't have a realistic chance. Belgium was too good, that hockey match that India lost. So that is that REAL in English. Eine reelle Gefahr, real danger, asli. This is that real, asli, real. Es gibt reelle Möglichkeiten jetzt. Also die Pandemie ist nicht so schlimm. Deshalb gibt es reelle Möglichkeiten. Real chances. Asli chance to ab hai. That is the word here. Real is R-E-A-L. Don't confuse this with real, please. That real, yeah, that's real is actual.
the actual.
There is a very fine difference between actual and real.
Okay. Oh my God.
Sometimes it's used as
Sir,
yeah.
Sir, REAL, real is your, in German we call it as English?
Actual.
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 Material.
And this R
physical.
double materialistic.
R-double-E-L, yeah.
This is called as?
So don't confuse. This will be real.
Real is real
Okay.
auf Deutsch.
Yeah.
Okay. Und was ist the real of Deutsch? REEL. Real is a jute something.
Oh, you mean the English reel, huh? Film reel.
English
Yes,
real.
sir.
English real.
That reel is
Yeah.
Spuler. Die Spuler. Die Spuler, die Roller, Film Roller.
So be Benedson or real eye. Real means it's not real. That is maybe our local language. Or real eye, jute bolta hai bolke. This is not real or real eye. Something we speak like this, na?
But when you say real life and real life,
Yeah.
also das ist, was künstlich ist und was hier ist ganz real. Also das ist reales Leben. You can't really translate it that easily.
Okay.
Real is on film, right?
Yeah.
So when you
Real
say
is
real life, it's basically and film.
yeah. It's not a real. Yeah.
Nein, das Leben ist Realität. Das ist nicht in der Praxis so. Das ist nicht in Natura so.
Right.
In der Praxis ist das nicht so. So you have to reform the sentence, reformulate the sentence. Eins zu eins kann man nicht übersetzen.
Okay.
See, in Hindi also when you put this, even in Telugu for that matter, अरे वो पर्दे वाली बात है. वो पर्दे पर है, ये असली है. That parda phrase is used in Telugu also. That it's on the parda. That means it's on the curtain. So why curtain? Because that's onto which you project your होता है, असली जीवन में थोड़ी हो रहा है.
Yeah.
So that is how it is expressed, no? Parda. So you've changed the whole idiomatic usage. You suddenly brought in a curtain.
Yeah. Yeah.
So in English, real life, that's a coined word, by the way, after films were invented. So it's basically what you see on film, which is not the same as it happens in reality. So you have to change that entire formulation of the phrase. Bei der Übersetzung kann man nicht direkt Wort zu Wort übersetzen.
Okay.
Man übersetzt nur die Bedeutung, nicht die Wörter oder nicht die Phrasen oder die Wendungen oder die Struktur. You have to understand the meaning of what is being said and look for an equivalent meaning with another set of words, not necessarily the same set.
Okay.
It's not possible. It's just not possible.
Clear, sir.
Yeah? Okay. So,
Vielen
Morgan, bitte, gern geschehen. Gern geschehen. So, we meet tomorrow. Wie üblich, um die gleiche Zeit. Ich bin denn da, morgen muss ich vielleicht ein bisschen schnell weggehen, aber mal sehen.